Hi, it's Rochelle Bradley, and today is Tuesday, so welcome to my Tuesday teaser. Thank you for joining me. Today's Tuesday teaser comes from More Than a Fantasy, which is released. The ebook is out right now. We just released that on the 21st of May, and the paperback, I just need to double check, make sure there aren't any more errors, and we'll be good to go. I had to tweak the cover a little bit. There's a couple things wrong, and that's why this is a proof. I get to check everything out. So today's Tuesday teaser comes from Chapter 18 and Kelly's perspective, and I'm just going to read a portion of Chapter 18 starting on page 94. So, well, before I start, I'm going to preface this. Kelly is an elementary school teacher, and she is working in her classroom, and it's end of the day, and so one of her students from last year, it's a favorite student. He's in 3rd grade now. He forgot something at school and came back to get it, and so his father has taken on a little interest in Kelly. So Kelly's uncomfortable because, you know, she's got Ben, and Ben is a cop in Fortuna. So here we go. So Andy started, his hands in his pocket. Would you like to get coffee sometime? His cheeks flushed and he smiled timidly. That's Kelly, an excited voice called from down the hall. Ben beamed as he hurried towards her. She sighed happily, raising her hand. Ben! Ben took her into his arms, squishing the folders between them, and kissed her hard. She melted against him. God, I've missed you, she mumbled against his chest as he released her. Oh, Ben, you remember Andy and his son Howie. She felt hot all over and knew she was the same color as a ripe tomato. Let's see. Afternoon, gentlemen. Howie's mouth hung open. He tugged on his dad's arm. I thought Mrs. Green was going to be your date. Wide-eyed, Andy froze as color crept to his face. Sorry, sport, Ben said, kneeling to Howie's level, but gazed up at Andy. Mrs. Green is my girlfriend. A thrill ran down Kelly's spine. She belonged to Ben, and he was claiming her. Her heart sped up. And she reached out and touched Ben's shoulder, squeezing it gently. His hand came up, and their fingers laced. Hopefully, Andy would get the message. Or Howie. A loud screech echoed through the hallway, followed by a rumbling engine. Then the screaming started. Ben ran towards the doors at the end of the hall. He shouldered the door open before sunlight swallowed him. Kelly hurried after him. Andy, holding Howie's hand, cautiously followed her out. A yellow sports car had stopped nose down in the drainage ditch in the schoolyard. Across the street, a young, dark-haired man and Walter Mellon hurled insults. Learn to drive, you slimy little weasel. What did you call me, numbnuts? You've murdered Banjo. Stupid dog shouldn't have been in the middle of the street. 2 houses down, a large dog lay on its side on the road. Ben jogged up to the men, and the yelling subsided. Ben pointed to the car, and the kid nodded. Kelly approached the car, reading Beast as the custom license plate. On the dented bumper was black fur. The kid hit it so hard, he swerved off the road. It's kind of windy. I'll go over with Ben, Andy said, and I can be a witness if he needs me. Stay with Mrs. Green, Andy said to his son, then crossed the street and joined Ben. Howie paced the sidewalk next to Kelly. "I bet he doesn't have insurance," Walter yelled. "Whatever, dickweed," the young man returned. Ben took control of the conversation again, and Walter walked a few feet away. Andy stayed at his side, lending an ear while the older man talked, waving his arms. The young man and Ben spoke. The kid crossed his arms and stared at the ground while nodding. "What's happening, Mrs. Green?" Howie's big blue eyes stared over at his father. "Ben is talking to the men to find out what happened. That's just one job the police do." "Will the guy go to jail?" he asked, pointing across the street. "I don't know. Probably not. I bet he'll get a ticket, though." The driver reached for his back pocket, but shrugged and pointed to the yellow car. Ben nodded. The young man crossed the street toward his car. He sat in the driver's seat, leaned and bent down as if reaching for the glove box. Ben glanced over at Kelly. She waved, then his gaze snapped to the young man. The car engine revved, then the driver threw it into reverse. The young man looked out the rear window. Hands over his ears, Howie lurched forward towards his dad. Kelly gasped, failing to snag the boy. "Ashen," Andy called out, but the roaring engine swallowed all sound. The car jerked, flinging dirt clods into the air. On the pavement, he shifted gears. The throaty yellow beast shot forward. Midway across the street, Howie fell to his knees. He glanced up, pouting. Kelly's voice failed her. She froze, horrified. The driver did it, slow. Well, that's today's Tuesday teaser. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have read More Than a Fantasy, tell us what you think about it. You'll have to read it to find out what happened to Howie. Just to let you know, I'm starting work on book 4. More Than a Fantasy is book 3. And so paperback will be available soon. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to enjoy more Tuesday teasers, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get updates for when I post them, hit the little bell. And thank you for joining me again. Have a good week.